Hi everyone, welcome to the Builder's Guide channel. In this episode, we'll examine how to obtain a building permit in Ghana. We are told that one needs to first obtain a building permit before they can embark on their project smoothly without having any issues with the authorities. However, to obtain a building permit, your building plan, according to the authorities, must conform to the Ghana Building Code. The building permit is required because it ensures that the structure being put up is safe to live in and environmentally friendly. Joining us to have this conversation is Engineer Ebenezer Asumeni. He currently works with the local government services, specifically the Old Tafo Municipal Assembly. He holds HND in Civil Engineering from Accra Technical University, Bachelor of Engineering, Civil Engineering from Accra Institute of Technology, and Master of Science Construction Management from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Good morning,
Hello,
Felix. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good to have you. I'm doing very well.
I'm good.
I hope you are doing great as well. All right. So, as indicated earlier, we are discussing today the topic how to obtain a building permit in Ghana. And to begin with, may I know from you what is a building
A
permit?
building permit. A building permit is a written authority to a developer to commence a construction project. And it is from the municipal assembly within which the person is working to the developer to commence a construction project.
So, it's a written document written to a developer or
Commence,
the developer and
yes.
the municipal assembly. Okay. So, what conditions must be met in order to
Okay.
obtain a building?
In order to obtain a building permit, there are some conditions an individual or an entity should meet before he or she is granted the permit. First, we ascertain the ownership of the parcel of land on which the development is going to be carried out. So we ask for your lease or your allocation and site plan bearing your name. When you submit this document to us, we also cross-check from the two lands and the land commission whether truly these documents are genuine or they have been tampered with. If they are genuine documents bearing your name and your address, then we ask for your working drawing, structural drawing, and architectural drawing for us to understand it to know whether the structure will be feasible or whether there should be any alteration to be done on it for it to be resubmitted to the assembly again. So all these documents are required before we will start the process.
Okay. So, in ascertaining the ownership, that is when you take the land
Yeah, and then
title
just
and the indentures and all that. So, this verification, the applicant must in this time be
yes,
waiting for you to verify all this
yes,
before
yes.
you go ahead.
In order to avoid any, oh, it
And that
depends
usually takes how
how
long?
fast the agencies will give us a feedback. Land commission, you have to go for a search. Two lands, the same thing, you have to go for a search. So they'll give you a written note on, oh, cross number ABCD belongs to Mr. This or Mrs. This. So if that feedback is given to us, then we will inform the applicant that we have done the search and it's bearing your name or it's not in your name.
Oh, okay. So at this stage, is the applicant going to, bear or pay anything for the search you are going to conduct with
Yes,
all the
yes. There's
various
the
other
applicant.
government?
Yeah, at this stage, the applicant who will
At
foot
this
the
stage,
bill for the search.
okay. But what if the applicant has, done the search
Yeah,
first,
that one there will
especially
be
when they
a
are bringing
letter
the
from the
title?
commission on the title to the municipal assembly. With that one, we won't go back and do any search again because the commission have given us a note on it. Are you getting me? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yes. It's so clear. So is building permit required solely for individuals or for
Building permit
business
is
entities?
required for any entity, individual, or group of people who do construction. So individuals, entities like churches, companies, or any group of individuals who want to undertake construction, they are required to come for building permits. But the Act gives some exemptions to some state institutions, like the military, security installations, the embassies. Yeah, they are being exempted.
Oh, okay. Why? And why? Because I understand you do all these checks basically to ensure that the
Yes,
building will be environmentally friendly and also be able to live in. So once you are not doing the check, how do you on your various departments are able to ascertain whether the quality of these buildings are good
yeah.
to dwell
Actually,
in?
the farmers of the Constitution, when it comes to security installations, it is a place where needs confidentiality. So, like a police barracks or an armory or the designs are confidential. It's not exposed to the public. We will still check some areas, but it won't come to
Okay.
a committee meeting where people will have a fair view of it because of the security concerns with them. But we still check from behind the scene there. We meet with them, we point in all those areas that they have to rectify. But it's not openly done.
Okay. You
Yes.
for permits, especially when, for example, if the permit had already been secured and the building is built, but they are doing some extension,
Yeah, when it comes to
or when you go
renovation,
over
you
there,
still have to come for permits. The Act says alteration, demolition, renovation. You will still come back to the municipal assembly for a permit to do the renovation because the first permit that was issued was for the building to be done. After 10 years, the owner wants to do some maintenance works. He still comes back to the municipal assembly with a working drawing for us to review it, then we issue a renovation permit to the person. Even demolition, you still have to come for permit.
okay, and then the cost components will be the same, or it will be reviewed downwards because
It
it is
depends.
you have the
It
structure
depends on
already
the
there
extent of
and
work.
the extension is being done.
Somebody can come with a 3 bedroom for a permit. Within 10 years, you want to redesign it into a 3 story.
Mhm.
It's a renovation that he's doing, technically. So the permit will depend on the
Okay,
extent of work the person wants to undertake.
okay, okay. Thank you, thank you. So, what steps must the application go through before final
Okay, so if
issuance of
the
the building
applicant
permit?
is able to get all the documentation we discussed earlier, applicant will come to the municipal assembly, buy a jacket, we call it a jacket. The jacket contains the information of applicants, your name, where you stay, the location of the plot, the design. So the applicant will go to his architect or the engineer to fill all those forms and stamp for him or her. Then he will come to the municipal assembly and submit the whole application with the drawing, land title, site plan to the physical planning department. So that's the first step. The submission will be done to the physical planning department.
Okay,
So after the submission, there's a committee
okay,
that meets every 1 month. We call it technical subcommittee. This committee is made up of technocrats from various institutions. The work designer is part, the planning officer is
okay,
part, the physical planning department director is a member, urban rules is a member, student is a member, fire service is a member, and the assembly members from various subcommittees are also members. So the committee is made up of many individuals from different agencies who have burning concern to permitting in Ghana. So the EPA will come, the fire service will come, land commission will be there,
okay,
and we will all meet at one table. Then we will evaluate the document that the person has submitted. So after the evaluation, there will be a site
okay,
visit to the particular parcel of land where the development will be taking place to have a ground study of the site, whether there's no any service line or any service pole on the plot of land. So when the committee goes for all this inspection and they come back and the applicant meets all the requirements, the committee will now move to the next committee. We call it special planning committee. The special planning committee is being chaired by the MC, the
Okay.
municipal chief executive, and the secretary is a physical planning director.
Okay.
The the director is a member, the engineer is a member, the Student Land Commission (UPA), urban roads are members. So at that
All
level,
right.
they will also evaluate the
Okay.
documents again. If they find no fault on the document, then they will approve it for permit to be issued. So this process will take like 3 to 6 months,
Okay.
depending
Okay.
how often the committee will meet and if they will have a quorum.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask how long for a residential
Yeah,
building of say bedrooms.
depending
It's going to
how
take six
fast
months.
the applicant is able to finish the documents. Some can even be a month.
Okay. So what's the minimum
The minimum should be like
period
4 weeks.
it can take?
Short 4 weeks.
Also,
4 weeks. The permit should be ready.
so if the applicant is able to
Document.
finish you quickly with all
Yeah,
the
that can
needed
take.
documentation,
Yes.
then that can take this
Some of
maybe
the applicants, you call them,
for
write to them for
but
a
can
particular document, and it take them years for them to finish out the documents. So that delays their permitting processes. Some of them,
okay. But is there any period beyond which the applicant can sue the for example the municipal assembly for delaying the issuance of permits? Is there any period
yeah,
beyond
the
which
the acts
the applicant can
give a
sue?
period that after 3 months, if the permit is not issued, the applicant can commence the work. Yes. After
Oh,
three
okay,
months, if
without the
all his documents have
approval
been
from the
provided to the
committee.
committee, and within 3 months he doesn't get the permits, he can go to site and commence the work.
So how do you, in this case, able to ascertain whether it is, waterway or what is this applicant going to use to as justification for his,
Yeah.
his
So
or her
so so
decision to
after three
submit the
months, if the
permit?
applicant is not hearing from the committee, he will write to the committee through the MCE that I have submitted my application on this day for permit, and up to now we have not gotten feedback from your end. And the chief executive will authorize the engineer and the physical planning to go to the ground there and ascertain whether the area is good for the purpose or not. Because maybe the committee haven't met, so they can't grant the permit. So, but the engineer and the physical panel can go to the grounds, ascertain, and give a temporary working permit for the person to commence whilst they are waiting for you to approve their permit for them.
Okay, okay. So the temporary working
Yes,
permit
to
in the
commence.
meantime can be
Yes,
used,
since all your documents have been
to
submitted,
support
and
the
like it's not your fault. It's the committee you have not met. Because if the documents are not genuine, they could have informed you earlier. But
Okay.
after 3 months, the act allows you to go to the site and start work.
All right. Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you very much for this information. Are there any premium services available? If so, how much does it cost? For example, if I want
Within
to have it
2 weeks,
early, within 2 weeks, is
in
there
some
any premium
assembles,
services?
they undertake normal and express like AMA and Co, depending on how agency the project is. Then they will tell you have to pay for the committee allowance, their field visit, and ABCD. They can fast track the permitting for you, depending on how many applicants have applied. Because if it's only one applicant who have applied, it is a financial loss to the assembly. So sometimes we accommodate like 5, 6, 7
Okay.
applications before we will call for a meeting. But maybe the applicants, okay, I'll bear the cost of all these things, sit
Oh,
on my
okay.
own. The assembly is being obliged to do so if you can bear the cost of all these things.
Okay. All right. That's fine. So I think from this indication, I've gotten to know that it is the
Yes.
various municipal assemblies that issue this permit. Are there any other institutions apart from the municipal assemblies in the various regions who are
No,
also in
it's the
charge of
municipal assembly who is in charge. All permitting has been given to the municipal assembly to manage their own affairs. So every assembly have SPC, Special Planning Committee, whom handles this permitting. So you can't cross boundaries. If it is AMA, they have their committee that handle permitting. KMA have, AFO have, so I may have. So it is on municipal basis.
Okay, so I've also heard stories of certain unscrupulous people who go to the various sites, write stop work, produce permits, and then include their contact details to be contacted. But some of them are not genuine, or these guys are not necessarily coming from your various
Yeah, actually,
municipal assemblies. And then these innocent applicants, or people who are carrying on with their building projects, call these ones, and then if especially based, because these guys are not genuine, will definitely give terms like, give me this and then I'll give you the go ahead to build. What happens to these people, especially if for example they produce a fake documentation?
yeah, actually, the whole issue is that we have some people who are also in the system who are not from our department. Before the building inspector goes to the site, there are some buildings you won't meet anybody there, but during the weekends they will work. You go there on one or two or three occasions, there's nobody on site. But weekends, before Monday you go there, they have done some work. The act says you have to give a written notice to the developer. This is where you don't meet the developer on site. You don't even know who is doing the work. So sometimes we have to use a red paint to leave a message on the building. Stop work, produce permits. This happens when we cannot find the developer, because there are some people they work in the weekend, the nights, and during
Okay.
that time we have also closed some work. So the building inspector will not even have a chance to know the developer.
Okay.
So if I go there 1, 2, 3, and I don't meet the
Okay.
owner of the house, I have to leave a message on the wall. Stop work, produce permits. Even in some cases, the person will leave his number for the person to contact him. Come to the office, they will show you the process. So normally it should be a written notice. But when we
Okay.
can't find the developer, that's where we use red paint to write on the walls.
So my question is, the so cashing by writing these things, because maybe I don't know whether they've dealt with or they've worked with your department before and know the various
Yeah, actually, we
ways
hear
to take
of those
advantage
cases.
of this. If I find myself giving money to, especially if I don't know the process, and I think that going by the terms of this unscrupulous person, giving out money, thinking that I'm free, and then later the right people or nobody comes at
Yeah,
all to my building is ready, and then someone
yeah.
comes later demanding the
Actually, nobody inspector will ask you to give him money before you do a work. So come to the office with your document. That's the first thing that he will ask you to do. So there are some guys who have, to every
okay.
system there are some loopholes. So it's you, the developer, who should make
Yes.
sure that I'm dealing with a new person. Well, the municipal assembly is there. You can walk there at any
Okay.
time to the client service units to, oh, I'm looking for engineer this or engineer that, or I'm looking for the works department. That should be your first point of call. You don't deal with individuals on site when it comes to building permitting. So sometimes the developer who should
Okay.
be smart,
Okay.
you know how our system is. Whenever there is system and there are loopholes, people take advantage of it to explore the system. So if you're a developer and somebody calls you, I'm engineer for this
Yes.
area, meet me at the site there and give me ABCD to do your work. Walk to the municipal assembly, look for the head of works department, and deal with the department, not an individual.
Oh, all right. All right. All right. All right. Thank you very much. So how much does it cost to apply for a building
Yes, it
permit?
depends on the size of your building. We use per meter square to calculate
Okay.
a building permit. So maybe your three-bedroom will be like
Okay.
250 meter square. My three-bedroom will be like 450 meter square. The same three-bedroom, but the meter square.
Okay.
So most of
Yeah.
the assembles use per meter square of the projects to calculate for the building permit.
Okay.
So it's not a fixed amount. It's not that we hear people say, "Oh, my three-bedroom was 1,005. How come this person's
Okay.
three-bedroom is 4,000?" It depends on the area the person is trying.
Mm-hmm.
The people
Yes,
complain that,
I've
oh,
heard
mine was 1,000. How come this person is
those
only
cases.
4,000, 6,000? It's the same three-bedroom, but the area that the person is occupying determines how much he or she pays. And also, the location of the plot is very important. Let me
Okay.
give you a critical example. KMA, Heta Kumasi,
Okay.
it's a first class area.
Okay.
So if you are putting up a two-bed in Greater
Okay.
Kumasi and you are paying
Okay.
around 7,000 for building permits, and somebody who is putting up a three-bedroom at Finson of Akumadan, they won't pay the same amount because we have Class A, Class B, Class
Okay.
C, and Class D. So the Greater
Okay.
Kumasi is a Class A.
Okay.
So it depends on the location of the building. That will
Okay.
determine your building permit fee.
Okay. Okay. And are there consequences for
Yes,
buildings
yeah,
before
there's a
permit?
greater consequences. Normally, the act says we should slap 50% of the building permit as a penalty if the applicants come to do a permit. Maybe he has begun the work already. Then he comes to the office, I was going to do a permit. We will slap 50% of it as a penalty. Also, if the applicant doesn't come and after several
Okay.
letters to him or her, then we have to inform the court to issue a summons to the developer to appear in court to explain to the court the reason why he or she is building without a permit. And in some cases, demolition comes in, and the demolition has to be sanctioned
Okay.
by MUSEC, the Municipal Security Council. But the act also gives the engineer
Okay.
a power to demolish if you are encroaching on a right of way. Immediately, the engineer go for demolition order.
Okay.
So we have so many ways of handling that issue.
Okay. But the 50% slap on the applicant or these
Yeah.
people who did not come for the permit before building, if the person pays, do you also verify, check the structure there to at least be sure
Yeah.
whether it is safe
Before the
to
50% will be
enter
slapped
into
on, the
that
person have
area?
gone through the process and they have granted the permits. That's where if you are working for a permit fee, we slap the 50%. We don't just do it at the initial stage. No.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Then the demolition. How do you determine if it's a waterway or not, or
With the
if you can
demolition
explain?
order, we have a layout, a scheme where we have planned the municipality. We have road, we have waterways, we have buffer. So if your plot doesn't fall within the scheme where it's supposed to be a plot, maybe you are on the road, you want to achieve to buy a land, they have given you the land, you have paid for it. After the demarcation of the area, that particular area has to be used for a road. The municipal assembly will demolish it
Okay.
accordingly because your plot doesn't fall within the scheme of the assembly. Some too
Demolish with compensating or just demolish and leave
some are demolished with
the
compensation,
individual to
some to no
go his or her
compensation.
way.
It depends on the issue. Demolished with compensation, do you have a permit from the municipal assembly? Yes, no. Maybe the person came for a permit. That area was a plot. But as time goes on, the area have to be redesigned. Maybe your plot has to be used for a fire station at the proximity. Then they have to
Okay.
compensate you for you to move out. But if you don't have any permit from the municipal assembly, you have
Okay.
no business with the assembly. The demolition will be done. Then you go to the chief who sold the place for you for your money.
So quick one. How do you determine the value of the demolished building, to be paid to
Okay, we
this
have
person?
quantity surveyors at the assembly level who undertake valuation of the building. So we know from the excavation, your concrete work, your footings, every detail of the building, we will value it. And we will tell this how much per the current market price. This is how much the building will cost. Then the assembly will make payments
Okay.
on it for you if you have permits from the municipal assembly.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So is it possible to apply
For
for permits
now, we
online?
haven't gotten there yet. So assemblies are piloting it. I know AMA, they are trying to pilot it, but they are still doing the manual applications. Maybe somebody can engineer it for the assemblers to buy into it, because now we have procurement, so it's possible
Oh,
going into
okay.
the future.
Oh, okay. 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 All right. So, anything you would want to add
Okay, okay.
to this conversation?
Actually, building permits
I think.
is a very important document every developer should have. One, it protects you, the developer. Two, it makes sure that you conform to the building code. And also, three, it prevents loss of investment. Every developer should make sure that
Okay.
he or she acquire a building permit within the municipality he or she is working to protect his own investment.
All right. All right. So I captured a few things. My key takeaways. So
Yeah,
building permit is written authority given to the applicant, in order to
yeah,
commence construction. And then you spoke about the requirements, saying that, you check for land title, you take indentures, and then you also look at the allocation of the leads and all that. And that is to help you, determine the ownership of the property. And then after everything, the applicant can come to the municipal assembly and buy jackets. And then that's where you check for the name,
yes, yes,
where they live and all that. Okay. And then you said that you have a committee that meets monthly basis to
yes,
to approve this permit. And this committee also visit the various sites to ascertain whether everything provided is according
yeah,
to what is on the ground. Then I think you also mentioned location of the plot is very important in deciding how much it costs in determining the cost of the building permit. And then those who have already developed will be slapped with 50% cost the permit. And then in some cases,
yeah.
demolitions can come in. And then at the concluding part, you mentioned that online application is not ready yet. And then finally, you ended by saying, mentioning some of the importance, the
Yeah.
significance, important basically, reasons why people should go for the permit. And permit is very important because it protect every developer and it prevents loss of investment.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay. So I think we've come to the end of our discussion. I don't know whether you can share your contact to viewers who
Okay, they
may
can
need
put
your
it on
assistance or may get in touch with you
0249
or want to get in touch with you.
419063. I'm always available to assist anybody who want to acquire a building permit in any part of Ghana.
All right, all right, all right. So thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Thank you very much for the insights. And then we'll call on you when there need be to come for many
You are
more
welcome. I'm always available.
information.
Thank you.
We are grateful. We are grateful. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you in our next episode. Thank you. Bye bye.